Nicholas is asking about stems. Is there a formula to do it? Single channels or a mix of guitars with keyboards, etc. It's a great question, Nicholas. It really depends on the library that you submit to. So some libraries will tell you we want every individual track in your session bounced out individually, sent to us. Sometimes they want that because they might be doing some of the mixing or mastering on their end. Other times they just want to have everything possible at their fingertips, okay? But what I found, most libraries, what they'll want is they'll want instruments to be grouped accordingly, right? So let's just go with a rock track. That's what I do. So usually they will want the kick by itself, the snare by itself, but they don't necessarily need tom 1, tom 2, and tom 3 on 3 separate tracks. And that's actually not how I track my toms anyways. I put all 3 toms on one track and then I bounce that track, and that's all of my toms, right? Same thing with cymbals. They don't necessarily need a hi-hat, a ride, a crash, all the different types of cymbals on your drums. They just need one stem that says cymbals, and that's exactly how I produce it, and that's how I stem it out. So, and then when you go to guitars, well, how could we group our guitars? Usually you're going to have rhythm guitars and lead guitars. Maybe you also have a third category, which could be like special effects guitars. So you have some guitars that have kind of a filtered sound to them or some sort of a weird effect. Those could maybe be the third one. But even if you have 6 tracks of your rhythm guitars, they're stacked, panned out, hard left, hard right, but they're all playing the exact same thing. I group all of those together and I call the stem rhythm guitars, right? Whatever my lead guitar is, there might be 2 leads, 3 leads. Sometimes they're stacked on top of synths or something like that. There's kind of this combo sound going on, but it's all in the world of lead guitar. So that all those tracks, whatever, however many they are, they all get bounced down as a single lead guitar, okay? Then the last one would be sound effects. So most libraries I work with, they'll want actually all of your risers, your impacts, your swells, your crashes, your 808 kicks, like all those kind of things, those just sound effects sort of things. They'll usually want those all on one track, maybe 2. Sometimes they might say, we want all the riser effects on one and all the impacts, crashes, those boom, those bass drops, we want all those on a second one. So you could call one risers and the other one impacts. Or what I usually do with my libraries is it's risers and impact, or SFX for sound effects. So that's usually what I've found. So, but you always need to talk to the library that you're working with. That no matter what I say, no matter what you're learning about this, you need to talk to the library that you're submitting to and asking them, how do you want stems delivered? Do you want them individual? Do you want them grouped in a certain particular way? Maybe they want all the stems from the rhythm guitars split out into left and right. So they want a track that's hard panned left and a separate track that's hard panned right, for whatever reason, right? So these are just the experiences and what I've noticed in my career, but I'm not speaking for every single library and every single person out there. So you definitely need to communicate and ask the people that you're working with for what their requirements are.